So Andrew Tate's been trending lately. Have you heard of the guy much or not?
Yes, I heard of him. Not before you.
Oh, you never heard of him before we started making these videos?
No.
I guess not.
From where?
You're not on TikTok, are you?
No.
No, you're not on any social media. So I can give a quick intro to Tate. He's a 4-time kickboxing world champion. Over the past few months, he's blown up on social media. He's now the most famous man in the world. He just got banned from all social media platforms for these videos. So
I know.
we'll get to watch him and see if you agree or not.
I watched a couple.
What are your initial thoughts before we go into it?
Well, at first I gave him a 0.
Yeah.
But then I improved a little bit, and I could agree with some things he's saying.
Okay.
Leave the man you love, the man you are head over heels in love with. You're gonna leave him and find another man who you don't love, who's still gonna cheat on you because you're still a trash bitch.
I am hilarious.
He was talking about if the man cheats in a relationship, if the girl should go and leave him or not over the fact that he cheated.
100% she should leave him. You don't stay with a man or a woman if they cheat on you, because if they do it once, they'll do it twice. And women who marry men who have cheated with them on their wives, and now they divorce their wives and marry them, and this is vice versa also. Do they think that that person is always going to be sincere to you also? Not going to happen. You have that personality to cheat. To me, it's bad, rotten. I would throw him in the river. It would never happen twice.
Is that how Grandpa died? Did he actually die from cancer?
No, he was a good guy. And he couldn't cheat because he talked in his sleep.
He talked in his sleep?
I would have known.
He never said another woman's name when he was
Nope.
sleeping?
You kidding? That would never happen. He'd be in the East River as fast as look at him.
Live in a world where things need to be fair, 50-50, gender equality, blah, blah. I pay for things unprompted. You don't have to ask me to pay for shit. If we go for dinner, I'll get my wallet out, pay at the end. Don't even check the price of the bill. My card always works. Just bang, ouch, pay, whatever, no problem. Unprompted, if you're with me, your life is effectively free. Everywhere you eat, everywhere you go, where you sleep, you ain't paying for shit. You ain't getting in my car and I'm asking you for motherfucking gas money. No, I pay for everything, instantly, as a man should. So when you walk into a house and you see mess, why is your lazy ass not doing the right thing and start picking and cleaning shit up? If you're sitting there going, that's sexist. Well, it's sexist for me to fucking pay for everything, isn't it, you fucking bimbo? But that's fine. This is the whole world we live in now, double standards. It's okay for me to do the masculine thing, but it's not okay for you to do the feminine thing. It's bullshit. Women should clean. Now, when I say this, girls go, well, I don't like cleaning. No problem. If you don't like cleaning, how about this? I'll clean. And when I say I'll clean, I mean I'll hire someone else to clean. Anyway, I'll get the house clean. And you pay for everything. How about that?
I think a man should be a man, and maybe it's from the generation I come from. When you went out with a man, they paid for it. When I went out with my husband, he paid all the time. I never even gave it a second thought. And for the most part, I did all the cleaning in the house. And every night, he worked every day. I didn't work. So I came home and I cooked dinner. And I felt that it was my place to cook dinner. But he was not the type that said, you better clean this house or you better cook or anything else like that. Circumstances fall into that because if you're sick, you don't feel good, you don't feel good. A woman should have the right to say, I don't feel good tonight, I'm not going to cook. And her husband should not say, well, I pay the bills, you should cook. There are circumstances involved in that. Although I think a man should be a man. But unfortunately today, with women working the way that they will, my husband worked 10 jobs. I never had to worry about anything. When I needed something, I said, go get another job, we need something. And he did. Today, unfortunately, it's not that way. Some men just don't want it because they have to watch football on Sunday. My husband worked on Sundays, and I took care of the house.
Yeah, I mean, when people watch that, they'll immediately think of him as like a tyrannical figure.
Right.
But he's a reasonable man. I mean,
it's. I agree.
He understands. Like,
if a man,
if the wife has COVID, he's not gonna be like, go pick up that dish.
There's circumstances in every case. But basically, if a man is out there working and a woman stays home,
yeah, the house should be clean.
I
How
feel
is that
the
crazy
house should
to
be
say?
clean and there should be a meal on the table. And it's not being sexist.
No, there's
just
roles. It's not sexist for the man to pay for dinner.
It's just common sense.
Exactly. Base grandma.
But I've decided to come out as a woman because how I look obviously has no bearing on the fact of what gender I am.
So what are your pronouns then for the next 2 hours?
King and Lord. I'm going to stick with King and Lord.
All right.
My appearance has nothing to do. So, I mean, when I was thinking of transitioning, I thought I had to look like a girl. But it turns out I don't. I can keep my shaved head and my beard because if you assume I'm a man for those reasons, you're a bigot.
Right.
Also, I thought I'd have to have sex with men, but that's not, I realized I can be a lesbian woman.
No, you can just identify.
Be who you want to be. Who the hell cares?
Who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. As long as you're
Not shoving it down our throats and down our
Not-
kids' throats.
right. Be who you are. Don't be a criminal. Don't be bad. As long as you're an good, everyday person, that's all that matters.
Exactly. Be a good person.
And the number one way you're going to destroy racism, if you really want to destroy it, is to stop talking about it. Stop discussing it.
You think that's the solution?
I think it's the beginning of a solution.
Okay.
I think if we just look at police brutality as opposed to police brutality versus white, black, Asian, let's look at a police brutality. Right now we have this Stop Asian Hate thing going on. And yeah, it sounds like a good idea. Okay, stop Asian hate. Did you see some Asian person get beat up and it's on the internet? I guarantee yesterday when that Asian person got beat up, a black guy got his ass whooped and a white guy got his ass whooped just the same. People get ass whoopings. Like, why do we have to put a race on the ass whooping? Stop ass whoopings. Why add a race in? Stop police brutality. Why add a race in? Why are we adding race to everything? If all you look for is the same thing and you add a race taint to everything, then you're going to see racism. That's how it works. That's how the world works. It's like when you buy a Lambo and you thought you never saw a Lambo before. Now you see them everywhere and you're mad. You thought you were special and you're not. It's the same thing. If all you look for and all you talk about is the same thing, you're going to identify it, right? So we need to stop all police brutality against all people, even against sexy caramel kickboxing world champions. Leave me alone.
I totally agree with him there.
Oh, I totally agree with him also. There shouldn't be a thing with racism no matter what color or nationality, but it's always been there. Again, I'm old, and we weren't so much racist with people with color, but nationalities. I am Irish and Italian, and I was called a mutt because I'm mixed nationality. And I think being racist, and I never taught my children to be racist, I was not taught to be a racist when I grew up. And I grew up in I'm 82. Many, many years ago, I grew up when people didn't mix races in marriage or religion.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Anything. And it shouldn't be. You meet a person, they're a person. It should not matter who they are, where they come from, or what they are. If you like that person, then just be with that person.
Black parents are different level beatdowns. I had a friend who carried a 6-inch scar on his face. I said, how'd you get that scar? He goes, I pissed my mom off. When my black aunt got pissed off, everyone got a beat down. Me, my cousins, any kid in the vicinity, random children. You see, white parents would be like, why is this room a mess? And then they'll sit and talk about it. Well, Timmy, if you don't clean up, Timmy, you don't get sweeps. They'll try to do some kind of business deal with a child. How the fuck can you do a business deal with a kid? You brought this kid into the world. You're the only reason this kid doesn't starve to death. And now you have to do a little fucking business deal for it to do as it's told? What the fuck is that about? That's white parenting bullshit. My aunt would walk in and say, why is this room a mess? Before anyone had a chance to explain why it wasn't their fault, everyone got a whooping. Children screaming, running around the house, half naked, covered in mud. It was like fucking Assyria. That's how it went when the room was a mess. No discussions, no why, no who did it, just straight beatdowns. In fact, black parents are so good at raising their children. I think they're almost too good. I know black guys who legit will fight 10 police officers but are afraid of their mom.
Tate's doing good tonight. I agree with him.
I'd say Italian parents are pretty similar. You just get a beat down.
You do, but I'm half Irish too, so I have them both. When my children did anything wrong, I pulled their hair, I smacked them, and I thought nothing of it. They may now think that they were abused as kids, but they weren't. They were just being disciplined. A kid is not going to tell me what to do or pull a tantrum. That's not acceptable. It's not acceptable in any way. A slap in the face or behind and pull their hair never hurt anyone. My kids all have good hair.
Hit him with the wooden spoon.
Hit him with the wooden spoon. That's right.
That's the classic.
And I, as a teenager and a child until today, never ever smoked a cigarette in my life because I was petrified that if I was in China and I turned around and lit up a cigarette, my mother would be there and beat the crap out of me. So, Tate, this is a good one for you.
Son ain't gonna get any money because I don't want him losing his hunger. I want him to grow up broke. I want him to go through all the struggles I went through. I want him to suffer. I want him to have that fire. Now, I had some major disadvantages due to the fact that I had absolutely zero access to money. My family was completely broke. So I will give him some advantages. Let's say like when I was a fighter and I was fighting and I couldn't pay the rent. If my son, when he wins his fight, I'll give him a financial bonus myself for winning. Okay. He still has to go win. My kids are not gonna be born into any kind of wealthy environment, into any kind of money. When I have children, I probably won't even raise
raise them in a Western country because I think Western countries are soft. Bro, if I have boys, I want them growing up in deep Russia.
Hardcore ones.
Yeah, with like in the mountains with the goats. Like just running in the snow barefoot.
To beat ones.
Yeah, I want monsters.
People raise their kids to be soft. There's too many bulldozer parents.
Yeah, and again, I agree. It's nice if you're comfortable. I mean, I am not a rich woman by no means, anywhere near there, but my husband always worked and we were comfortable. But my children always worked. I gave them everything they needed and education to a degree and whatever. But let them go out and work. I don't care if you're a billionaire or you're not, or you make $500 a week. Make your children work for what they have. Give them emergency money if you need it. But no, my kids.
And even if
always
you're
work.
giving them money, they shouldn't be just slacking off and you're giving them money.
No.
If they're like really granding and working and you can tell they're
And-
putting their all into it, then yeah, you can help financially support them. That's totally different.
As I have done. I can't help my children a lot because I don't have a lot, but I'm comfortable. I'm fine. But they know not to depend on me or whatever they're going to get when I die because they're not going to last too long on that.
No, they're not hitting encore when you die.
They're not hitting, no.
As a man, you are judged solely on your status. You don't even have to be good looking. You need to be important. And you're only going to be important by achieving important things.
His big thing is like, as a man, you're born with nothing and you need to earn everything, and that's how you gain status and become important as a man.
Well, that's good, and some people like that. Some women are impressed with that. Doesn't matter what you look like. I mean, you could be, a gorilla looking like, but some women are after money and status. That shouldn't be the important thing. Be a good person, be nice, and we'll be poor together. It doesn't matter. Well, not poor, but, comfortable. I don't want to be poor.
I know what you mean. Yeah, working hard. Like if Grandpa wasn't working hard, you wouldn't want to be with him if he was just if he was a couch potato and wanted to lay around all day.
I went to apply for this job. They said I need a degree. I said, I don't need a degree. Like, why didn't you go to university? I said, because I ain't got 4 years to waste in school. I'd rather get 4 years of experience out here working jobs. I'd rather have real experience and money in my pocket and learn the hard way than go to some school and sit around and drink alcohol and do drugs like all these other university graduates are. I'll work for free for 1 week, and if you don't think I'm good, don't do the job. That's what I said. I worked for free for a week and they gave me a job. So I'm a G.
He's 100% right. I don't think you need a degree for everything. I myself graduated from high school, did not go any further than high school, had 2 very good jobs before I got married and had children, but then my husband and I started a business, and for 30 years we had a very successful business. No degree. I learned how to do bookkeeping. I learned how to dispatch cars. I learned how to do scheduling for everybody. So I did not have a degree, and I think it's your common sense and your just everyday knowledge that you can learn from, not a degree, unless you're going to be a doctor, a dentist, or
a lawyer. Yeah,
a lawyer,
the obvious
where
ones.
you need a degree. I don't think overall you do need a degree, except I think for personal knowledge, it's nice to have the knowledge of the education just for personal.
Yeah. Every time I say college is a scam, that's the first thing they go to is, oh, but what about doctors, lawyers? Like, obviously.
No, that's obvious. And I ran a business for 30 years with my knowledge that I got out of high school. Just be yourself and be willing to learn. Be willing to try and learn and sacrifice on your own without being in debt for $200,000.
Facts.
And you know what's crazy? When I said this depression thing wasn't real, do you know how many people stuck up for depression? You don't understand. I'm depressed. Depression's real. If it's so horrible, why are you defending it? You sound like it's a PR team. I thought it was ruining your life, but you are desperate for me to believe in it. You want me to believe in it. You're sticking up for it. You're defending depression, trying to convince me it's real because it's your cure-all excuse for failure. When you're depressed, you can fail in every human metric. I fail at everything, but I'm depressed. It's not my fault. No, you're a failure. That's all you are, because you're not trying very hard.
Depression is real, but mild depression, you have to get out of it yourself. And if you're trying and doing everything possible, then go further and see a doctor or professional. And maybe
You know what I think it is?
that'll help.
I think you both are just looking at the word depression differently because, yeah, you're saying, yes, depression's real, you can feel depressed, but you're just saying that you need to work yourself out of it. I think he's saying the same thing. He's
thing.
like, obviously
Yeah.
you can feel depressed, but get out of it.
Get out of
It's not something stuck in your head that you're like that forever. And that's how so many people are convinced.
Yes.
And isn't that such a horrible mentality to constantly tell people that if you're depressed and you're sad, it's just a mental illness. You're stuck like that forever.
No, and
that's
it's
how
not.
that's how most people think, though.
When your grandfather died, and I went to the doctor, and normally, and he gave me something to take.
Mm-hmm.
And I took it for a week or two. And I went back to him and I said, I'm not depressed, I'm nervous, and I will work it out.
You just went through something horrible. Of course you're going to have feelings. Why do you need a pill to mask that?
Right away gave me a pill, and I talked myself into this. I said, no, I'm not depressed, I'm nervous. I'm nervous because of my circumstances right now. But I got through it without medication, without talking to anybody, just my everyday life. I got through it. And I think I did very well with it. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people. They feel bad one day and right away they're depressed. And everybody needs a Valium or Xanax or whatever the hell they take. I don't need that. I don't take anything.
I can tell you whenever I'm feeling down or tired, I look at the reasons as to why I'm feeling that. I look, what did I eat earlier today? Did I eat like crap? Did I stick to my morning routine? Did I already work out? And if I didn't do those things, and you know what, the most of the time I do feel like crap, it's because I didn't do those things. So then I go, I journal, and I get back on track.
Right.
Like, you know what?
And people blame their depression on their upbringing, blame their parents. It's very simple to blame your mother and father for not doing this and not doing that. Well, I did not. My parents taught me morals and whatever. It was not far from an ideal upbringing. But I knew as an adult I wasn't going to live like that, and I was going to do this, and this to get better, to better my life. And I did.
The based grandma. Crushing it.
I went there and they said, oh, it's tandem and we're going to strap you to an instructor. And I said, whoa. Strap on to a dude? This sounds too gay. I'll do it myself. I want to jump out of a plane by myself. Like, okay, well, there's a 1 week course you got to do, blah, blah. So I started going to these classes. And during these classes, I accepted, and I now understand, that I am happy to die having never jumped out of a plane. Not only is it a bit scary, of course, jumping out of a plane, it just doesn't look pleasurable. Nothing about it looks fun. When you start the training process, they explain how you jump out, and they show you all these videos of people's parachutes going wrong, and how you have to, pull your emergency chute, and all these people who die, and all this bullshit. But even if everything goes well, when she described it to me, my instructor, that's another thing that put me off. If you want me to jump out of a plane, give me a man to teach me. Give me some fucking woman.
You don't like that?
No, why can't women be an instructor of skydiving? Women fly planes. They know just as much as men about this.
Oh, we gotta find another video, actually.
I will never jump out of a plane. Anybody who does, I think, is crazy. And
yeah.
No, but a woman should be able to give him instructions. She'll probably give him better instructions because we're more cautious.
I was getting on a plane and I could see through the cockpit that a female was a pilot, and I took a picture and I said, most women I know can't even park a car. Why is a woman flying my plane? And they banned me.
No. I can park a car excellent. I come from Brooklyn, and I come from the city, and we parked a car. It's so funny because I've had that experience, gotten on a plane with a female pilot.
Yeah.
And I did take a second look. Because it's not common.
Can I see your papers, ma'am?
It's not common. I didn't even feel that she didn't have the right credentials, but I was like, oh my God, a female pilot.
If you're going on a plane, would you rather a male or a female pilot, or it wouldn't make any difference to you?
It wouldn't make a difference. Now it wouldn't. But when I first saw this maybe 10, 15 years ago, I was like, oh my God.
So you'd have no preference at all?
No, not today, not in today's time. The only thing I think, if something happened to the plane mechanically, the man would probably be a better mechanic than the woman.
Yeah.
And I would feel safer with the man, especially knowing my husband was such an ace mechanic.
Yeah.
That I thought that. But now, hey, Queen Elizabeth was a mechanic in World War II. And she became a mechanic. She drove trucks and became a mechanic way before her time.
Yeah.
So it can be. We grow into it.
Yeah. So what's your final rating for Tate? What'd you give? So you initially gave him a 0.
I agree initially, and a couple of things here he got a 0. But I think initially I agree because I am a no-nonsense person. And I agree with him almost 100% on a lot of things he said. Just not in the way he says it, but
yeah.
Coming from a different generation, I spoke differently. But he sounds like me. I beat the crap out of somebody when they got me mad. And he would do it too. He probably gets an 8 or 9. I give him an 8 or 9. He went up there.
A 0, 2, and 8. Wow, an 8 or a 9. The base grandma, it's pretty clear you raised the base mom.
I did it on purpose.
Yeah, I can say that. Make sure to like, subscribe, join the Discord in my comments.
Yep, because my grandson has to take care of me.
Yep. Join my Discord. Learn social media from me. I'll
Yes.
buy Grandma a yacht.
A yacht. No, I don't need a yacht. Just a lot of shoes.
I'll buy a lot of shoes. All right. Thank you, Grandma. All right. Smell you later.
Okay.